What's up, guys? Welcome for another episode of Ganito RN. I recently heard about that nurse in Tennessee that is now being chased by the state. They canceled her license, and I'm not really familiar with all the details with her case. But the story is that she made a wrong medication. She gave it to a patient, and the patient died. That's what the news is saying. So it's kind of like a tricky situation, but this is what I know about the situation about that nurse. Okay, so welcome back. While I'm still waiting for my time to go in, we can discuss about that nurse's situation, why she made a mistake. So, being a nurse, you have to follow all the protocols of the hospital. It depends on what hospital you're in. Hospital here in America, they have their own system. Some hospitals are on their own, but mostly they have their own network. For example, there's a certain hospital that they have like 5 hospitals. They're like a whole network. And with that network, they have their own policy, they have their own protocols. And for what I know about that nurse, I think the nurse ratio there is 1:8. That's what I heard, 1:8. And that's a lot for one nurse. 8 patients to one nurse. And can you just imagine if you're a nurse and then all of them will be calling you, right? So, and then I heard that they do a override for a medication. So override medication is that the situation in the hospital, they have a machine, mostly Pyxis, and then each patient has their name there, and then there's a list of medication that we can get to that certain patient, right? And then there's a low risk of mistake, because if you choose the correct patient and then the medication, it will only give the medication to that patient, right? But then on that nurse that had a mistake, she made an override. She didn't choose a patient. She just took over the medication as an override, without any connection to a patient. So that's kind of like a mistake there already. But then, for what I heard, they're doing it all the time. Like they don't follow the safety programming of that machine. So that's an overlap of protocol for her part, or as they say, they're always like overriding it. So it's normal to that hospital to do an override, which is bad, right? And then that nurse also took a verbal order. So she doesn't have any basis at all of getting that medication, because it's a verbal order. She didn't put it in the computer, right? So a lot of loopholes. And then, considering if you're working in a hospital, if you're a new nurse, and then you have patients that assign to you like a lot already, that's already a safety issue. You cannot handle 8 patients, right? Especially if you're in a specialty department, like cardiac or ICU. You cannot handle 8 patients in that area. ICU is 1-to-1 or 1-to-2, right? But then for her part, I don't know where she worked, but usually the regular room is just 1-to-6, and she has 1-to-8. Can you just imagine that? So all will fall to safety, right? We're all mortal being, and we are prone to mistakes, right? So that's why we always have this new protocol, new technology, and they're adding more to make our patients to be safe. Giving medication, whatever you have to do, follow the protocol. You are evaluated as a nurse every year, right, for your performance, and they base it on the performance. Are you following protocol? Are you doing all the necessary steps in each procedure that you do? So being a nurse is really a technical job, and it's hard. Especially they're adding more and more for us to do. It's not just caring for a patient, that's it, you know. A lot of things are being placed behind what you see. Before we do anything, we have to review what is necessary. What are the necessary steps that we need to follow? If we're not following it, then we're deviating already, and that's a safety risk. So, yeah, for that nurse, I don't know, because for what I heard, she settled with the family, but then after, you know, that case is done, the state is chasing her and canceled her license. So she's already working in another you know, company, but then the state canceled her license. So it's bad. She's a new nurse. And oh, I would like to add too, that patient is not her patient also. She was just helping another nurse. You know, that nurse that is assigned to that patient was attending to another need, and she asked her to give the medication. So if you're a nurse working in the hospital and then somebody asks you that, you know, it happens. It happens. But then you need to do a review. Just don't do it right away. So you have to be careful with what you do. For those new nurses that are still, you know, you know, in the early part of their career, just ask all the time. Ask everything that you need to know, and then do not do that is, you know, if you're like having second thoughts, don't do it. Have somebody who will guide you, or ask somebody to assist you before you do anything. Okay? So that's kind of like one of my thoughts today. Yeah, because it's important. I work in a healthcare field, and I'm concerned about it. It's going to be it for now. Hopefully I can give more nursing videos later on. But I hope everybody is safe, especially in this pandemic still. Hopefully we're getting down there. We're getting there though. Hopefully, right? Hopefully no new variants. So there you go. Thank you very much for watching. Until next time. Babush.